This is Robert Kraft, and I'm coming to you live on SNN.Live, and we're at the LD Micro Main Event 2019 in Bel Air, California. With me right now is Lon Bell from Ideal Power. It's a publicly traded company. The symbol is IPWR. Lon, welcome to SNN.Live.
Well, thank you for having me.
It's great to have you on. So for our audience, let's start off with an overview of the company, and then we'll go from there.
We are developing a power switch that is a solid-state, high-efficiency, totally proprietary power switch that can enable new functions for switching electric power.
So let's get a history of the company. When did the company start, and how did it evolve to where you're currently at today?
The company started in 2014, in effect. It had some precursor, but it started at that time. That's when it first went public. At that time, we had two technologies. The two technologies are both very promising. Having said that, for a small startup company burning money, it was absolutely necessary to focus. So I took over as CEO about 1.5 years ago, and at that time I reviewed what we were doing, I looked at our opportunities, and I decided we had to refocus the company. Early this year, we made that decision formally at the board level, and then by September of this year, we had sold off all other assets to absolutely focus on our B-TRAN technology.
So tell me a little bit more about this technology. How does it work? And as you said, how does it make turning on switches and everything just more efficient?
It works basically, there are conventional switches called IGBTs that are power switches, meaning they switch power, such as a pump or lighting of a building or an air conditioning system. They switch something that has significant electric power. So it's not signals like in a computer or those type of applications. It's true power. So these switches are used ubiquitously. They're in electric vehicles, they're in conventional vehicles, they're in the home, they're in throughout industry. The market today is about $5 billion for such switches. And what they do is they are the smart component that translates from a signal, such as from a computer or you wanting to take some action or some automatic action like controlling a temperature in your home. It takes that signal and it produces the signal that actually turns on or turns off the equipment. So it turns on the electric vehicle so it moves. It regenerates the power, so the power goes from the electric vehicle back into the battery. These control large amounts of power. The switches that we have were invented because there was a need for considerably higher efficiency switches. And our switches reduce the losses in the switching about 80%, so a very substantial reduction. That enables new uses, and it makes a compelling case for using these switches to replace the existing technology.
So where are we currently at in the company's life cycle? Are we still in development, or are we starting to commercialize?
We started out with this transition, as I mentioned a few moments ago, and right now we have built our first prototypes and we have validated the key performance metrics of higher efficiency and another key metric where it simplifies the switching sequence and eliminates several parts. We take 4 existing parts and make it one with our technology. Where we are right now is that we have demonstrated that, and our goal is in Q1 of next year, of 2020, to have samples of prototypes, laboratory prototype that we can share with our targeted strategic partners.
So as you mentioned earlier, you also said that the company's technology is ubiquitous. But who would you say are you can't just tackle everything at once, right? So what would you say is the strategic target markets to start?
In our minds, the strategic market that we want to start with is in UPSs, uninterruptible power supplies. We think that that segment of the market has very important need and benefit from utilizing our technology. It's also a market that, from our perspective, is shorter time to enter. If we compare it with, for example, electric vehicle market, which is a wonderful application for our technology, it's probably several years shorter.
And what's your background? You mentioned that you came into the company about 1.5 years ago. What's your experience prior to joining Ideal Power?
I have a PhD in engineering, and from that I formed a company that was Technar. That company became the world's largest supplier of crash sensors for airbag systems. So I have an extensive background from that in the vehicle industry. I sold that company to TRW. I then formed another company, Amerigon, and over time that company purchased other companies and now is called Gentherm. That company currently has a market capitalization of about $1.4 billion, and it has a little over $1 billion a year in sales. So as that company matured, I retired from that company, and then I started looking for startups that I could feel that I could make some contribution to.
So then, from what you can tell us, what would you say are the company's goals and growth drivers for 2020?
Our goals certainly are to begin to show industry what we have as a product, to show industry that this is the next generation. The incumbent, the current technology right now has about a 30-year history, so it's rather old technology. And now with our new architecture, the B-Trend architecture, we feel that there is a significant change, and what we want to do is to begin to acquaint industrial users and military users with this new technology.
And Lon, where can our audience go and find more information about the company?
Our website is idealpower.com, and there we have significant additional information that I think will give you a sense and give our listeners a sense of what the technology is about.
My name is Robert Kraft, and I'm coming to you live on SNN.Live. We're at the LD Micro Main Event 2019 in Bel Air, California. With me again has been Lon Bell from Ideal Power, publicly traded company. The symbol is IPWR on NASDAQ. Lon, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you.